You wanted the best. You've got the best podcast. The hottest podcast in the world. The Chris Voss Show, the preeminent podcast with guests so smart you may experience serious brain bleed. The CEOs, authors, thought leaders, visionaries, and motivators. Get ready. Strap yourself in. Keep your hands, arms, and legs inside the vehicle at all times, because you're about to go on a monster education roller coaster with your brain. Now, here's your host, Chris Voss.
Hi, folks. Chris Voss here from thechrisvossshow.com. Thechrisvossshow.com. You gotta love it. What can you say? You gotta love it. Welcome to the big show, my family and friends. We certainly appreciate you guys being a part of the show. As always, welcome. And remember, the Chris Voss Show is the family that loves you, but doesn't judge you, at least not as harshly as your mother-in-law. For 15 years, three to four shows a weekday, 15 to 20 a week. We've been producing stuff like a radio show. The CEOs, the billionaires, the White House advisors, the governors, Congress members, U.S. ambassadors, astronauts, TV, and Pulitzer Prize winner journalists on the show. You just join, whenever you listen to the Chris Voss Show, this elite crowd of people that bask in what we call, I mean, I've trademarked, we don't really, but the Chris Voss Show glow. The glow. I think we need to hire a gal to say that, just like the opera singer. We need the Chris Voss Show glow. You know, something like that. I don't know, whatever, man. We got too much time on our hands, evidently, with this show. So, guys, we always talk about amazing technology, the future of stuff, and all that sort of great stuff on the show. And we are going to be talking about some amazing technology today that's gonna blow your mind. I need to pay somebody to do like a blow your mind thing. There's lots of money going around right now today, I guess, that I need to spend or something. Or I just need to go on Fiverr and just go on a crack binge on Fiverr and just buy everything. There you go. Anyway, guys, we're going to be talking to a wonderful gentleman about their technology, what they're launching in, and how it's going to probably change the world. John Bruner joins us on the show. He's the head of marketing at a company called Lumafield. We're going to be talking today. Welcome to the show, John. How are you?
Thanks so much, Chris. It's great to be here. I am basking in the glow.
You're basking in the glow just already.
Yeah. Your listeners should know that it is as high energy here when you're on the show as it sounds out there. So.
It is, but we all did the coffee shots before the show, the 5-hour energy shots before the. I was going to do another joke, but I'm going to leave it off the table. We didn't do that. Don't do drugs, people. They're bad. Just stick to coffee. I think that's our thing. So anyway, John, give us a 30,000 overview on Lumafield and what you do there.
Yeah, so Lumafield is a startup that makes industrial CT scanners. So you might be familiar with a CT scanner that you've used at a hospital, looks inside your brain, uses X-rays, takes X-ray images from different angles, and then uses software to get a 3D model out of those. Doctors use it to look for all sorts of stuff going on inside your brain. Our scanners are used by engineers for diagnostics. They look inside physical products, everything from electronics to consumer packaging to footwear. And anything that engineers used to cut open with a saw, they can now CT scan and do the same electronically.
That's what they're going to do with my brain soon. They're going to give me that frontal lobotomy. So we're going to go full saw usage. But now they don't have to use a saw with your technology. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. So it's just like a medical CT scanner. If you look at what a radiologist looks at after you get a CT scan, they're slicing through your brain top to bottom. And they're kind of like looking at it in cross section. We're letting those engineers look at their products in cross section in incredible detail.
They did that with my CT scan. They just found monkeys and squirrels fighting most of the time, which
sounds exciting in there.
Which is why they're giving me a lobotomy. It is, unless you're me, and you're on the outside of it all, then it's a real problem. But there's a lot of monkey slinging and stuff going on in there. So tell us about, you're the head of marketing. When did you join this company, and what got you involved in it?
Yeah, I've been with the company for just about 2 years now. And before that, I had been in the 3D printing industry at a couple different companies. And a lot of us at Lumafield came from 3D printing because for a couple of reasons. One is the original idea was that CT scanning would be a companion to 3D printing. I don't know how much you've talked about 3D printing in general, but it's very, very promising technology, but it produces sort of uneven results, and it's hard to know exactly what's going on inside these very complex things that you're 3D printing. So our founders figured maybe maybe people would use industrial CT to look at 3D printing objects. And since then, it's turned out, it's actually really valuable in a bunch of different industries outside of 3D printing. But the other reason that there's crossover is because it's kind of the opposite of 3D printing. With 3D printing, you have a digital model and you're turning it into a physical object. And we take your physical object and turn it into a digital model.
Wow.
That's the short answer for how I came in, was through the 3D printing world. And
there you go. And so it's billed as design, build, and ship products at the speed of light, and basically giving engineering teams X-ray vision that help them make decisions at the right time. And then it's being used in a few other different formats too, as well. We talked about before the show.
Yeah, that's right. So, we offer three products essentially. There's a scanner, a physical scanner that we put in your office. It's about the size of a commercial refrigerator. It's 6 feet wide, 6 feet high, 3 feet deep. Plugs into
the Mountain Dew in it. No,
yeah, you can. It gets a little warmer than a
probably not
refrigerator, but you can irradiate Mountain Dew and then drink it later. There's no harm. It's not like
What about my tuna fish sandwiches I like to bring in and heat up in the microwave?
Yeah, it'll actually, it's interesting. Food actually is sometimes irradiated by X-rays as a way to
really?
Microbes. Yeah, there's certain.
It's got a dual purpose then for sure, man. This is worth the money. I'm all in.
Yeah, we'll make your tuna slightly safer if we scan it before you.
The rest of the employees will hate me though, because you don't cook fish in the microwave.
But you get a cool graphic, cool visualization out of it.
You do, yeah. That makes it, that offsets it clearly, the smell.
That's right. So we make the scanners, which we put in your office or manufacturing facility. We make software that runs in the cloud. You use it through a web browser. That's where you see the beautiful images and do all of your analysis. And we have an AI co-pilot that lives inside the software as well, and it helps you analyze, your products and look at your scans more effectively. But it also answers general purpose engineering questions. You can ask it to help you pick a material to make a new bracket out of, or what kind of adhesive should you use? How big should this thing be? That kind of thing.
And it looks like it kind of has a heat map to it. Maybe, is that the right term?
Yeah,
you can have like a heat map.
Yeah, if you'd like, I could show you
let's do
a couple of scans here on screen.
We're gonna start using this for the show. We're gonna demand that the whole show operates on 3D modeling, so people have to show up with their X-ray.
Yeah, that's right.
Just do the whole show with the guests in X-ray.
We'll gladly sell you one of these to put in the studio, and you can X-ray things before your guests come on if you want.
I'm going to X-ray the guests, eh?
Yeah. We find a lot of our customers use this technology to kind of hold their vendors to account. They scan the things as they come in and say, "Hey, you didn't do this or that." I think you could do the same thing with your podcast guests. So these are CT scans from our system of 3 AirPods. The one on the left is authentic; it's a real one from Apple, and the middle one and the one on the right are fakes. They're counterfeits that are from eBay. And so this shows you, in incredible detail what's inside it. You referred to heat map, and what you're seeing here in this color scheme is that it explains density, the relative density of these materials. So the red and orange areas are denser, and the blue areas are less dense. So the red and orange areas are they're copper, mostly copper. There's a little bit of like lead solder in some of these. The blue areas are the plastic and silicone that are on the outside. So as part of the visualization, we can strip away the less dense areas and show you just the denser areas. That's what's going on in this.
This could be huge for, counterfeit. Brands have so many problems, especially with China, counterfeit brands and copies, and, they've fought it every which way. I've seen so much fighting over, is this copyrighted, or not copyrighted, but counterfeit. They've tried, putting all sorts of tags on stuff, trying to make ways to do it. But this is brilliant because you can see, those of you who are listening to the podcast, most people consume it in audio. You really want to watch this on YouTube because you can see that, it's night and day, the differences of the quality of parts that you can see in the Apple authentic as opposed to the 2 counterfeits.
Yeah, that's right. And you're right. Brand protection is a big deal. It's a headache for the companies whose brands get ripped off, but it's a consumer problem too. You think your buying one thing and you're actually getting another. You're getting defrauded as the customer.
Yeah. That's really cool. And they can see, every which way but loose. You can move it around from all different angles and look at it. And then what you said too about making sure that, you're getting it built the way they promised when it gets shipped to you. You know, going out to consumers, being able to identify maybe, different issues like wearability or, I don't know. You can see the wires aren't connected maybe if they aren't.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I mean, these are beautiful. I'll show you something else really quickly here. If we have this website called Scan of the Month.
Oh, there you go.
We look at all sorts of interesting things.
That's my mocha cup right there.
Yeah, we got this mocha pot. I'll show you that. And then the other thing that I love is this food packaging.
I love espresso.
But let me show you this mocha pot. I'll show you the inside of the mocha pot, and we'll get into something more.
That's really cool.
So yeah, here's the CT scan of the mocha pot. You can look inside. We can cross section it like this. Again, this color map is showing you relative density. So you got the less dense plastic handles and the more dense. I believe this one's aluminum, and you can just slice through it back and forth all you want. So
wow, that is crazy, man.
This
you watch my espresso come up the spout.
Yeah. We'll give you a really cool animation if you want. This is the kind of thing that we love. I love the beautiful images in marketing, but our customers are using this to find these little details here. So this is what we call porosity. These little hits in the metal. When you cast metal or injection mold plastic, it's really easy to wind up with these little air bubbles inside it, and they're the source of all sorts of huge engineering and manufacturing problems.
Oh, bad.
Invisible on the outside.
Yeah, and they can see that something maybe in the pour isn't work. There's an AeroPress. Those make the best coffee ever.
That's right. Yeah, everyone is. I'm told that a few people on our team went out and bought AeroPresses after we scanned.
They are the best. That is the best coffee you'll have in your life.
Yeah. Well, I know you're a coffee head, so this one would feel, and then
come the coffee show.
Yeah. I'll move us along to some different scans in just a minute, but. Yeah. Here's a fellow kettle, scan. Pretty sophisticated. Bunch of wiring.
Got the wiring, the schematics, and all that stuff. Wow.
Just zoom around. This is like such a fun way to see the world.
It really is. I mean, this is almost kind of like something you could turn into a TikTok channel and people just watch it for fun. Like, what's inside this?
Yeah, we actually have experimented with putting these things on TikTok. There was, the TikTok algorithm goes in and out. But we had a few out of the park successes in the last couple of years where, I'll like scan a drill or something and put it up on TikTok, 20-second video of it twirling around. And it's like 200,000 views and thousands of comments. And so the fun thing is that industrial CT has been around for decades, but only it's been so expensive and so inaccessible that it's only really used in like aerospace and a couple of really large companies. So we figure that on TikTok alone, more people have seen our industrial CT scans than have seen like every.
I'm serious. This is fun. This is fun and cool.
Yeah, we have really a blast with this stuff.
I could just sit and play this all day long if you give me food packaging. So there you go. You can see. I like how you showed on the pot. There was aberrations in the quality of the metal, and of course, if you're building something that it maybe something important sits on top of it, or you just you're looking at your warranty service or guarantees that you're offering on products. You can see that, oh my God, we're probably going to have a high amount of replacement, returns, things of that nature, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, that's right. And if you're we're all aware of like the very highest quality companies that we're all fans of being really obsessed with quality. But you talk with engineers at any company, and this is the kind of thing that keeps them up at night. Is like, is the packaging on this shampoo bottle going to withstand shipping in Amazon boxes to 50,000 customers in the next month, or you? And actually, a lot of these are becoming more challenging, by the way, because a lot of companies are prioritizing moving to greener materials. Plastics have come under fire. People want recyclable plastics. They want biodegradable plastics. It turns out the recyclable and biodegradable plastics are a lot harder to work with than the traditional ones. They're harder to fit to exactly the right shape in the molding process. They're a little bit less likely to be resilient to the kinds of pressures of transportation and shipping and delivery, because everyone has everything, delivered these days. So it's a challenging environment for the engineers who design stuff like bottle caps and plastic enclosures and these high volume things that you tend to go all day without thinking about, but that are really underpinning your life and that take a lot of skill and care to design.
Yeah, if I can't get my ketchup out of my bottle here, as you guys are showing the squeeze bottle cap, that's the end of the day for me. I'm over.
Yeah, it's a crisis.
Yeah, and you mentioned here that the people who designed the squeeze bottle cap created 111 prototypes before finding the right design. Could this be a way for companies to not have to maybe have less prototypes, maybe get right to the exact design they might want?
Yeah, that's right. This CT is a great way to close the loop. So, engineers are constantly designing a thing and testing it. And too often, if you're not really able to see what you've developed up close, it's hard to close the loop. It's hard to know if it's giving you what you need as an engineer, something that meets your requirements. So CT lets you close the loop. It lets you effectively cut open as many products as you want without actually cutting them open. And the state of the art in a lot of these fields, I joked about cutting things open with a saw, but that's actually what they've done. You take a bottle like this, you fill it with resin, epoxy resin, you cure it, you cut it open with a bandsaw, and then you polish it. You look at it under an inspection microscope, and that takes a long time. It takes ages to set up. It's destructive, so you can't sell that bottle after you've done that. And the cut itself destroys some part of the bottle. So you have to know exactly where you need to cut, and sometimes the cutting itself creates other signals that might be true or false.
If there's deficiency in the place where you made the cut, you're not going to pick it up because you just cut through the deficiency.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you just wreck the
and I can see how this could be a great quality control. Like every 100th unit or something, you throw it in the machine or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, exactly. You're totally right. You can do sampling. You can do full inspection. Full inspection is pretty rare in higher volume consumer products, but it's commonplace in aerospace. Like a lot of parts of that go into like aircraft engines get CT scanned. And our vision is that because we've made these systems a lot cheaper and a lot faster and a lot easier to use, that you'll see more and more things getting inspected at 100%, so that engineers really know what they're delivering to their customers.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I could see this is so many uses. It's so cool. Plus, I just sit and watch it on TikTok in the late at night. I can't sleep. Sit there and go like this to it. Yeah. But yeah, it does. This is amazing. I never thought about how some of this stuff was designed. There's a sriracha bottle.
Yeah, I'll show you a sriracha bottle.
Got to know how to get my sriracha.
Yeah, and this is another one where you don't want that to stop up, because then it'll squirt all over the counter when you finally do get it unstuck. And then here's this Tetra Pak.
This is my cocoa nut water that I drink every day.
Yeah, that's right. Have you ever
for potassium.
thought about this cap ever? How it?
Not really. No, it's kind of interesting.
The foil inside. So so Chris and I are talking about the Vita Coco Tetra Pak container. You see this type of cap on a lot of things like soup and stock now at the supermarket. Also some other drinks. So it's made of waxed paper with some coatings on it, and it's got this plastic cap that you untwist it and then it opens. And it's easy to overlook the fact that a lot of caps have a seal on the outside. You break the seal open with your fingernail, or you have to pull a strap out and unwind it. This has a seal. It has a seal foil underneath the cap, and when you open it the first time, these blades come down and they cut the foil. And you don't even notice it because it's so smooth. But
I didn't even notice there was a foil in there.
Here's an unopened cap. It's got this foil here, and then these things on the sides, they're actually blades. And when you turn the cap, it pushes these serrated blades down into the foil.
Holy crap!
It's got cams. I mean, this thing has like several independent pieces that move together and track each other. Anyway, it slices that foil open, and you never even know. It's an incredible.
It's like a whole Hoover Dam engineering experiment. My freaking coconut water cap.
Yeah, exactly. It's amazing. So this is what I'm talking about. It's like, it's fun to scan AirPods and
this is an interesting question coming in from Emily on LinkedIn. See this tool is good for initial design, but also for evaluation of wear and tear for warranty and parts and replacement policies. Thanks, Emily. Yeah, I imagine you could test stuff over time. You know how they do those? They have those tests, I'm sure you do, where they have those testers that, they'll shake something, really hard to try and give it 10,000 uses or something. Yeah. And then you can put it in the machine and see, how it held up.
Yeah, totally. That's you see that in the product development labs at a lot of our customers, that they'll have some machine that's like, evaluating the wear of a textile on an automotive seat, and so it's got a piece of denim that it's just like pressing back and forth against a car seat to test wear.
I need one for my back.
You see how how
much wear and tear is on the old.
Yeah.
The whole body there. So this is really cool. Like I said, I could look at this all day long. This is fascinating. Now I'm going to be toying with all my products. What's going on with this thing? I've always been fascinated, like with my mocha pot, how it uses steam, and then it has a gas release valve, and it eventually just reaches a point where it pushes it through the coffee and then up the spout, and the cream that comes out. I always love watching it. I'm just like, that's really cool how that works.
Yeah, it is. It's amazing. All these very clever kind of passive things. The world has become really electronic, right? And a lot of things that used to have a clever mechanical kind of like aspect to them. Now the magic is gone a little bit. There's just a tiny computer inside, and you can put whatever software you want on it. And, you put some sensors and a little motor in it. And now that replaces a lot of things that used to be mechanical. And so it's really fun to look around the world and find all these places where there's still tons of clever, really, really low cost engineering. I mean, this coconut water cap is like so complicated, and it's on millions of these containers.
Yeah.
Millions.
I drink like 4 a day. I think I have a few million.
Yeah. You've done some mileage on
that. The great thing about coconut water is that it has 1,000 milligrams roughly of potassium in it. You need about 5,000 potassium a day.
Okay.
So this is one of the main ways that I get that current. And it's great for hydration and stuff too.
Yeah.
Am I getting a check from Coconut Company? We should check in this.
Just send them our way. We'll
send them an ad feed. Yeah. Anything else more you want to show us in the video?
No, this is. I think this is pretty much it for the for a few of the demo scans. Wanted to show you some of the things that are neat, representative of what we're doing. I'll show you another fun one actually right here. This is a set of automotive parts that we looked at. So check this out. We put an airbag in the CT scanner. So see it from the side. Check that out.
Wow.
This is actually the bag itself. It's coiled up inside, and what you see here, this little notch, that's where the front cover of the airbag is engineered to break open, right? When this thing inflates. And when you look inside too, you can cut in and see the inflator. So it's not actually exploding. It's kind of like rapidly creating gas, which I guess is an explosion in a sense, but it's not a fireball kind of explosion. It's like a chemical, off-gassing process. And it's these little pellets here, they get ignited and then they inflate the thing, and it all happens in a split second.
That is crazy, man. Like I said, this is really neat. Like, you just sit and play this all day long. You got the gas cap there.
Yeah, even a gas cap, super complicated. Check out this like windshield wiper wand. Everything going on.
Can anybody go on the internet and see this, or is this?
Yeah. These are right at scanofthemonth.com. That's where we put some of this storytelling.
My new website.
Yeah. But it's just, we just go around. We have dozens of these scanners at our offices. We're based in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and San Francisco. We have a few other offices in Minneapolis, Detroit, Jacksonville, Florida, and Dallas. And we've got a bunch of scanners at all these locations, and we just we put things in all the time. It's a great way to explore the world.
My girlfriend's going to be like, "Are you looking at girls on the line?" No, I'm looking at 3D scans, man. These are amazing.
Yeah, looking at pistons.
There you go. So let's talk about you guys have your guys' product lineup. You have this Neptune, Triton, Voyager, and Atlas. Tell us about how some of these work.
Great. Yeah. Let me pull up Voyager for you here. So, and I'll just go ahead and start to load some of these scans if you'd like.
The Apple Thunderbird.
Yeah, I can show you that.
I think it's crazy, the detail on that.
Yeah, this
all
is
the stuff that's in a plug. When you think of a plug, you're just like, I don't know, it's a wire, it plugs into something.
Right. No, not at all. So this is, you're looking at Voyager here, and I'm loading a scan to show your viewing audience. So we make the scanners that I've mentioned. They're 6 feet high, 6 feet wide, 3 feet deep. You see them. You can see them on our website. We actually have one out the window behind me, but I'm not sure I can move my webcam enough. So, and then we have this software, and it lives in the cloud. It lets you, download scans and look at them right in your browser. So we're about to see one come up here in a second. Here's a scan. You recognize this?
A Remington, maybe a shaver?
Actually a Braun, I think.
Braun?
Braun.
There you go.
Yeah, Braun.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so this is, you mentioned like twirling these things around. That's
wow. Look at that. You see inside the blades and everything.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what's eating my face.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, look at that. You can change it to where you can kind of see the boards and chips better. Yeah.
So what I did just there was take I took the plastic off in the visualization, removed materials. Yeah, here I can put them back on. Boom, there you go.
Oh, wow. You can see the chips and the boards and the springs.
The cutting heads. Yeah, actually, let me back up just slightly. I can explain how a CT scan works. So these are the two-dimensional, we call them radiographs. These are X-ray images. And basically the scanner, all it does is you put a product in. The scanner has an X-ray source and an X-ray detector. So it has a kind of a flashlight beam of X-rays that it's pointed through the thing that you put in the scanner. And then on the detector, you're getting images like this, depending on how the object is oriented inside the machine. You just take one at a time, two-dimensional black and white images of something like this using X-rays, and you rotate the part. And in the same way that like you as a human can look at this rotating and begin to understand how it's laid out, we use software, reconstruction software, that we've developed that's based on some Nobel Prize winning work in the 70s. Wow. And can turn this into a 3D model that you can then kind of twirl around like this. You can look at it. You can crop in if you want, like this, and look at cross section.
You can do cutaway basically. Is that a cutaway or a crop?
Yeah, it's a cutaway there. Yeah, here we can kind of go up and down.
Oh, wow! So you just slice it and dice it and see each like variable level of it. Crazy.
Here's the battery. This is a lithium-ion battery. We scan a lot of batteries, and this is, you can see individual layers. So, lithium.
Oh wow, you can
made up what they call jelly rolls of.
My girlfriend says I have jelly rolls.
It's a problem for many of us.
But I don't shave enough, evidently. So I don't know what that. It's my big beard. That is crazy, man. And I can see just seeing the chips and how they mount to the board and.
Yeah, and then getting in, look at all these springs.
This is probably an engineer's wet dream, huh? You guys love this stuff. You get in there and you're like, oh my God.
It's really entertaining. It's an incredible way to see the world. All of us, have had some wish at some point for X-ray vision, to be able to look inside things and understand how the world works. And this satisfies that, right?
Yeah, it really does. I mean, I just want to sit around and look at everything. I'm like, what's going on here? This thing, maybe we'll just X-ray the whole show after it's done.
Yeah, we could just just send us a thing for every guest. Have send us something to get it X-rayed for the show. That you grow them up.
It'll make it creepy if we have X-ray guests. Like their eyes will be all alien looking or something. I don't know. We'll identify cancer on the show.
That's right. Exactly.
Hey, the CT scans picked up that you got a little mole growing there. You need to have looked at.
Yeah, it's a tough, medical CT is still so expensive. It's tough to see how easy it actually is to start to use industrial CT on the engineering side. Still pretty inaccessible for a lot of people on the medical side.
So which of the products is this one? This is Voyager?
This is Voyager, yeah, is the embedded software here.
And then you've got Atlas, the power of AI for engineering. And
that's right. And so I am not signed into my account here. Let me just open this in a different window.
So AI for engineering.
Yeah, that's right. So this is a co-pilot for engineers that helps you kind of does a couple of things, as I mentioned. You can ask it to help you analyze a scan that you've run, or you can ask it kind of general engineering questions, like what material should I use for this and that type of thing. So we saw that there was this big opportunity. A lot of companies, a lot of engineering teams rely on people with very, very specialized knowledge. And we saw an opportunity to sort of like collate some of that, help companies and teams consolidate their knowledge into a single place. So you can, if you opt in, you can have this learn from your team and understand some internal sort of tribal knowledge, and try to bring down some barriers. The world has gotten very complicated. Introducing a new product is hard. You have to rely on a lot of expertise. So we want to make that expertise a little bit more available.
So Atlas says, "Hi, I'm Atlas, your manufacturing co-pilot. I'm here to help you navigate Voyager CT scanning and design and manufacturing troubleshooting. You can ask me things. What material should I use to make a skateboard?"
Yeah, so we'll see. So it's spinning up right now. It takes a second to come up the first time you ask it something. So
we're watching these in 1080p. This is I've got a 4K monitor. This is probably really cool to see on a 4K monitor.
Oh, it's gorgeous. Yeah.
Yeah. I've got a 4090 card GPU.
Oh, nice.
So that would be really fun.
Yeah, it's a beautiful these are beautiful scans when you're seeing them in high resolution.
Yeah. It's like, what did you do today, Chris? I don't know. I just scanning crap and watching it.
Yeah, exactly. Here I am. I'll show you this. Speaking of other beautiful scans here.
There's a controller. Yeah.
There we go. I'm just making your viewers watch me use my.
This is cool. I didn't know this. How much went into those little plugs?
Now this is wild. Yeah, this is a Thunderbolt 4 connector.
Oh wow.
And you compare it with a much simpler USB-C connector, and you can see what a huge difference it makes. So this is here's the internals. We could slice up and down just like a radiologist would. Wow. You can see this is a 10-layer PCB in here. All these little traces. It's conditioning the signal. It's handling power, because these things can deliver like 100 watts of power and charge a laptop and drive your monitor. This can do something like an 8K monitor. So
there's a lot going on in there, man.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
There's a lot going on in there. Holy crap.
Yeah, and the quality of the manufacturing is really impressive. Look at this. It's like 20 individual wires here.
Yeah.
So it's
like an alien fish.
It does, yeah. Something you'd find in the very, very deep sea. This is my favorite visualization here. You can go down the length.
Oh, so it's taking you down the length of the whole thing. You can see the cable as it goes through and
dissipate. Yeah.
Dude, that is like I say, engineers love this, but I love it just because, seeing how things work. Like, they should show this to kids in school so they can get them interested in engineering.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would have loved to see this when I was a kid in school to understand engineering and the way things work.
Oh, I know, right? I think I was interested in engineering as a kid, and the level of accessibility now for everything is just so much higher for kids who are interested in.
I mean, they lost me when they had the protractor and the all that stuff. I'm like, what the hell's going on? What the hell is this for?
Yeah, slide rule
But here you can see like the end product that makes you kind of get excited. You're like, hey, I want to figure out how to make something like that. And then when they hand you the slide ruler or whatever, you're like, oh, okay, I see what this protractor does. Or
exactly.
Does anybody use a protractor anymore?
I think a protractor probably, but maybe in like 8th grade geometry. I don't know. Maybe it's all done in software now. But
on CAD.
Get your teacher to say you won't have that in your pocket.
Yeah, I was just looking to stab somebody with it. Isn't the protractor the one with the two pointy things on the end?
Yeah.
See, I learned something in school. That was about it. This is quite extraordinary. And so it looks like the AI gave you an answer back that talked about bamboo, carbon fiber, or use for specialist boards. Gave you a few different things. Can you make it as light as possible?
Yeah, so we'll have it. It'll it's like a lot of the co-pilots that you see now. It'll kind of have a continuous conversation with you, so you can ask follow-up questions. You can say like, and what kind of bolts would I need to use on that, or I'm going to describe a shortcoming that I'm seeing. Here's a rattle or something. So it's saying, consider aluminum and aluminum alloys, or high density polyethylene, polypropylene ABS. But for a traditional skateboard feel, maybe look at some lightweight woods like maple and pine.
There you go. Emily's going hog wild over here. She wants to scan insects and make a scanning game, and then she just wants to do fun and profit. She thinks she's figured out a way to turn it into the next big thing there.
Oh, yeah, well, here, watch this. I'm going to show you something. This is the fun thing about having a big library of scans behind you, is that you can pull stuff up. So thank you for that suggestion, Emily. I'm going to show you a CT scan of a beetle here, which is pretty fun. So insect warning if you have anyone who's phobic about insects in the audience. Look at this.
Holy crap. That is cool.
Isn't that amazing?
That is cool.
So I'll show you like a crop in here. Oops.
Guts.
Yeah. So again, you're looking at the whole thing now, and then I'm going to crop in, and you can just see these.
Oh wow! You can see the layers as you cross sections. You it's like those horses when you go to the show museum where they cut the horse in a million pieces.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. Set it in resin.
Well, this is less gross.
Yeah, and look at this. You're not
cool.
sectioning it. You
can see where I don't think they're bones, but where different things meet and intersect. And
yeah, this is the danger. Is it's so easy to CT scan things without knowing anything about them that I can't really tell you what's inside a beetle aside from what I've
learned. There's probably some zoologist that he's like, hey, that's the amacadora, and you're like, yeah.
We've worked with we did a video with Adam Savage from Tested at the California Academy of Sciences, which is the Natural History Museum here in San Francisco. They've got this incredible collection. You go in their archives and their collection spaces, and it's just like floor to ceiling bookcases as far as you can see, with specimens in glass jars. And they use CT to scan some of those, to both to look inside them and to sort of like create really accurate models that then other scientists can use. They post them online. They make it possible to download them and look at them. So
understanding our world in ways that we've never seen before.
Yeah, exactly. So this technology does cross over into the natural world as well.
Yeah, this is extraordinary, man. These are really, really cool. And when I was seeing first saw the beetle, I was thinking, I don't know, maybe gaming companies could use this as a way to build out characters or enemies or ways to, because the realism, if you could copy the realism, I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. It's we can
drag and drop it.
We can take something like this and make give you a 3D model of it that you could bring into game design software, rendering software, bring it into Blender or something like that. So
this is wild, man. I think Emily's already trying to figure out how to do fun and profit with it.
Yeah.
It's a new video game. Scan stuff and look at it. I mean, it's really intriguing. So, what else do we need to plug on Lumafield? What you guys are doing over there, so we get to wrap up the show. Otherwise, we're going to turn this into a 4-hour show where we're just looking at scans because they're so cool. I mean, they really are. You got to watch this if you're listening on the podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, so this Voyager is free and open to anyone. You can come and see the demo scans.
Really?
Including all the scans that I've shown you here. All of these are in our demo scan set. So you go to app.lumafield.com. You go to lumafield.com and hit the button. There are buttons all over the place to go into the app and just play around. We'd love to hear from you and know what's interesting to you as far as stuff you think we should scan, stuff you think we should publish. We have customers who are working in areas that are adjacent to all of these scans, but the only hard thing for me as a marketer is that our customers usually put our scanners in their very most sensitive areas, so they're scanning their prototypes, their new products. So we're not able to say much about what most of them are doing. But as a substitute, you can go in and look at our demo scans and twirl them around for yourself, cut in, section them, all of that. It's a fun way to learn about the world.
There you go. Can you guys scan my girlfriend so I can find out why she's angry at me half the time?
I can scan something that you leave out in the house that makes them.
Oh, there you go. That must be what it is.
Humans and I can't put.
That must be what you probably have to scan the other girlfriend to find out then why the other one's angry. I don't know what that means. So final thoughts and pitch out as we go out on what you guys do there at Lumafield, how companies can onboard with you, get involved, et cetera, et cetera.
Great. Yeah. So we, our scanners are available for $75,000 a year. They start at $75K a year. It's hardware as a service. So that includes all the software you need to run it, the cloud storage, the maintenance, any replacement parts that you need. That sounds like a lot of money, $75K a year. That's more than most people spend on most things. But it is a tiny fraction of what it costs traditionally to own a CT scanner, and it's a tiny fraction of what it costs to do things the old way, cutting things open with saws or just making mistakes and not knowing what it is that you're really delivering to your customers. So for $75K a year, you can have one of these amazing CT scanners in your office. You can scan things. Our customers mostly scan serious things, but we hear from them that they also do things like they put a beetle in, or they put someone's watch in or something like that and take a look at it. So
that's pretty cool. Will you guys take a check? No, I'm just
kidding. We'll take a check. You want one for your studio? I think it would look good in your studio.
That would look cool. I'll just put it behind me and I'll just X-ray every show. I'll X-ray like the microphone that we have, the Chris Voss Show logo, and I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I don't think anything will ever get done if we get one of those machines in there.
We'd be glad to scan a microphone for you if you want to send us. Is that a Shure?
No, this is one that we like that works pretty well for us. I can't remember the brand name, and I can't see it with my. I can't see the fine print, but it's a pretty good one. But if you want, I'll send it to you. It might be funny.
Yeah, send it over.
We'll just put it on the show and a glow on the show or something.
Perfect. Yeah. Have it just rotate slowly.
I know a lot of people use that Shure one. That Shure one's popular as well. Do we get your what's this? What is she saying? We've had enough Marvel comics. Let's create new characters. Wish Luma critters. Okay.
Oh yeah, let's do it. Well, if you send us some interesting specimens, we can.
There you go. You're gonna get some emails from Emily.
Or suggest to your favorite local museum that they get one of these scanners and scan.
Yeah, you guys could do this with fine works of art. I don't know if they'd let you, but like Monet's or something. You can see if they're fake. Yeah,
we have some customers who use our scanners on counterfeit detection, different kinds of things that they're looking at. X-ray is used on some art forgeries to look into it. I think they use two-dimensional X-rays to see what used to be under the painting. Older artists used to reuse their canvases a lot. You'd paint something and then paint over it, and then in white, and then paint something new on top of it. So you can sort of discern some of that. But we haven't had anyone authenticated Monet yet. I can tell you that.
That would be interesting. You
So
cut
if you have them
away
made,
layers. And
send it to us. We'll take a look.
I'll do that. Yeah. Well, John, this has been one of the most funnest shows I've ever had, where we sit here and we look at all this cool stuff. Like I could do this all day long. Thank you very much for coming on the show. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Chris. It's really been a pleasure. I've loved
And
chatting with you.
I think this is exciting technology. I mean, between the counterfeit prevention and building things and, just building better products, because God forbid I should have a malfunction when I'm opening my coconut water.
It's a big problem if it happens, right? It's a crisis.
It would be. I'd be like, oh my God, it's spilled everywhere. Which is probably, what goes on with that. Anyway, thank you very much, John, for coming on the show. We really appreciate it. And thanks, my audience, for tuning in. Go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, LinkedIn.com/Chris Voss, YouTube.com/Chris Voss. Subscribe to the big LinkedIn newsletter. That thing grows like a weed in a 130,000 LinkedIn group on LinkedIn. Go to Chris Voss, Facebook.com as well. Thanks for tuning in. Be good to each other. Stay safe. And we'll see you guys next time.